Welcome to another episode of the Mitty Reviews, and today we're going to be talking about The Last of Us. I don't know about other people's opinions on the show because I just haven't been paying attention, but The Last of Us is one of my favorite game series, and after the first trailer came out, I was a little nervous. Even though it's Pedro Pascal, and I love Pedro Pascal, he's really good in The Mandalorian. I was a little nervous because the last couple video game adaptations we've had have been dog ass, such as Halo and the Resident Evil show on Netflix, etc. But I am very glad to say that this show is everything I ever wanted in a Last of Us show. This show is amazing. There was a couple episodes that were a little slow. I think the like backstory episodes, which I believe was episode 7 and episode 3. I think episode 7 was one of the backstory episodes. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was a little slow. That's to be expected. It's just developing backstory and developing character. But that season finale that aired last night is hands down one of the best TV show episodes I've ever seen personally. I loved it. I thought that it was fantastic. The way that Pedro Pascal plays Joel and he's just able to show off about how fucking angry he is. He goes hog wild and is absolutely angry about it, about what they're doing to Ellie. It's so good. I'm gonna try not to dive into spoilers too deep. It's just not what I want to talk about. But if you played the game, you pretty much know the show. It's literally perfect, and I love it. It's such a direct comparison to the game. It fits it perfectly, in my opinion. I think. Um, so yeah, let's just dive and talk about it a little bit. The characters in the show, outstanding. Maria sucks. She's such a bad person, and you don't want her to succeed. And then she hires Joel to take Ellie across the country to go to the Fireflies in some city. I don't remember what city. I think it was Colorado or something. Um, anyways, and then you see Joel just like go on this adventure with Ellie, and you could see the way that they act and how like the chemistry that Bella Ramsey and Pedro Pascal have together is so good. Bella Ramsey also is Ellie, like as an actress, she is Ellie. If there could be nobody else who could play Ellie nearly as good as Bella Ramsey, I think the way that Bella Ramsey manages to play Ellie is fantastic, and I love it so much. Then they had the second to last episode, so not the episode that aired last night as of recording this, but last week. They had a or they did the cannibal scene from the game where they have a couple cannibals that try to or that kidnap Ellie, and then they want to kill Joel because Joel got attacked by raiders earlier in the show. Anyways, so they kidnap Ellie, and one of the cannibals was about to perform a very non-consensual act on Ellie, who's a minor in this season of the show. And right as he's about to do that, she ends up killing him, which is insane. Anyway, she kills him, and when she kills him, then Joel comes out, and you could just see the chemistry between them, and it just makes me feel just warm inside. Another thing I love about this show was the zombie kills. Almost every single zombie kill was insanely good. I love the way that they do it. They have one episode in particular. They had I think it's the bloater. I think is what it was, and it comes out and it feels like a boss scene from a video game. It feels like something that somebody would have in a video game, that like a video game cutscene right before you're about to fight a boss. And it's such a good scene that gave me so much hype, and I loved it. The story for this show is amazing. I just there's nothing like inherently negative, which is insane to me. Like other than like I mentioned earlier, some of the episodes being a little bit slow, but it's not their fault. They're just developing story and rapport with characters. The humor in this show is fantastic. The way that they can go from being super humorous to being super serious is insane. Not too deep into spoilers, but the entire time they're on this adventure, there's a storyline where Joel keeps telling Ellie that he has a scar from someone who tried to shoot him and missed. And Ellie doesn't know who it was that Joel's talking about, and then Joel mentions it in the finale that he attempted suicide, and basically implied that if Ellie wasn't being the way that she was, then he probably would have committed suicide. Which I think is fantastic to hear. It's just very nice and heartwarming. Yeah, I overall I love this show so much, and I cannot believe that it managed to be as good as it is. I'm very, very excited and also kind of nervous for season two, uh, because I already know how The Last of Us Part Two goes, and if The Last of Us Part Two is anything, or season two is anything like The Last of Us Part Two, it's gonna be really spooky to watch and really, really heartbreaking. But I think with the way that it is right now and who the actors are in this show, and if this crew keeps going on, I think that this is gonna be perfect. Anyways, putting in The Last of Us season one in or my percentages, I'm gonna give it a 95%. It's fantastic. It's so good. If you like The Last of Us game, you will love the show. And that's gonna be about all I got. Take it easy.